but it's always the same. Playing with the boy. Playing with a boy. Appetites and sunsets. Somebody else named Troy playing with the boys. Yeah, and that's how we don't get the show demonetized in the first 10 seconds, as I did for 100 episodes. Finally realized that's what it was. Someday I'll get Kenny Loggins. I can see it now. One day I'll get Kenny Loggins to Playing with the Boys live before a live sports mass show. We'll have Kenny Loggins perform it live. The stanza lights will all be there. Everyone will be jacked. All of my beautiful girls will be there, and it's going to be a wonderful day. Speaking of days, today is Friday, January 31st, the year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus, Henry Christ, 2025, if you will. And yeah, it is that time. We are entering, as you know, if you watched the show, if you've been a loyal Stancelite and enjoy the Stancelverse and enjoy Sports Mass Collective for a while, you know we are now entering I was going to say arguably, it's really not arguably, the worst stretch of sports patronizing, sports watching. The worst stretch of sports in the year between now and you have March Madness, you throw March Madness in there, but essentially between now and the start of the baseball season is what we here at Sports Mass Collective call the sports desert. It is the middle of we'll get to it a little bit, the terrible NBA season, hockey, Again, I'm a casual hockey watcher. I get more into it in the second half of the year. I enjoy hockey, but, it's the middle of the season. Nothing's coming into shape. So if you're a classic mongoloid sports fan like me, you have the Super Bowl next Sunday. It's one game, and it's more of a freaking spectacle than it is a sporting event, really. And it's one game drawn out for 4 hours. So we are here. I threatened you with it all football season. I talk about it all year. The sports desert is upon us. The dark ages of sport for all my fellow fanatics. So there's not a ton to talk about. I'll be honest. I have a few things to talk about. The biggest thing to start with is I've been getting raved reviews on this mustache. It's really unbelievable what's happening out here. I'm getting a lot of reviews in the real world as I leave my house and various soccer ball clubs and other places. So that's the big news of the week. Yeah, so this may be, I feel like I've said it every week this year, and I inevitably do an hour to 4 hours, apparently. But this may actually be a quick one. This is the show, folks. If you have, you know the rules here. If you, I always read the poor people chat, but this is the show. All of our shows are sports related. This is a sports entertainment show. But this one, more than any other, is the least sports-related show probably of the year. So my point is, if you want to ask anything, obviously we prefer you super chat, but we're not going to beg you. But even in the poor people chat as we go, feel free to put whatever bullshit in there. I'll actually read. This is the show. I'll actually read stuff. I just spent, speaking of super chats, I just had to pay $1,300 to get my fucking car back. What was it today? The left control arm and the bushings and a lug nut and an engine. $1,300 Subaru 2018 Subaru Forester, about 90,000 miles. Is this normal? Is this normal? I feel like once a quarter, at least definitely a couple times a year, I have some kind of $1,000 work that has to be done on my car. Really annoying. So if anybody wants a super chat, $1,300, just feel free. But feel free in the chat. Is this normal? Is this normal? Am I I'm not being lied to, because I brought it in because I was making very loud noises. I used to know so much more about cars. It's annoying. Literally, I used to change my own oil. I changed brake pads, and now I'm just a soft-handed cuck, I guess. Celsius, of course. Settle in here. Let's not rush this. We got nowhere to go. It's a lazy, soupy Friday here in the Northeast. I sent the link out to a few people. We'll see who pops in. Speaking of, I just remember, if anybody wants the link, by the way, just ask in the chat or text me if you have my number. I forgot to send the link to one other person. Hold on. Staying, playing with a couple boys, playing with two boys, playing with two or three boys. Da 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 da. Ra-da-da-la-da-da, playing with the boys. All right, we'll see who shows up, if anybody. If not, I'll have a great time here by myself. I have a couple little things to get to. No rush. We're not rushing. I'm basically just going to kill an hour with you fine folks. But me killing an hour, frankly, is the peak of other podcasts. Jim Stansel killing an hour is achieving more than most of these other shows could do actually trying. So you're in good hands. Settle in. If you have a fake job, crack a beer, drink a smoke. If you're sober, make a noose. Just kidding. No, what are you doing? You're sober. Put a toothpick in. Tea tree oil toothpicks, by the way. Unbelievable little hack for you fellow folks. I'm trying to quit vaping. Well, I am quitting vaping. Only doing it a couple times a day. I'm a man of willpower. I've tweeted about this before, and I know the Stanselites all agree. But basically, there's no glory in being sober. The glorious man is the man who can do things in moderation and are able to control themselves. That's what real alphas do. And good for you. If you can't control yourself, you have to be sober. That's great and all. But my thing is, I just don't like the glorifying being sober. I think that's silly. I think that's beta behavior. Not being sober, but glorifying it. Great, you're sober. I actually can control myself. I think I've definitely ranted on Twitter about this. I'm sure I've done it here, but I much more respect the person who can still drink, smoke, whatever in moderation than I do the man or woman who has to be totally sober because they can control themselves, then wants pats on the back for doing it. Here we go. We're off. It's a semi-solo show, at least for now. We'll see who shows up. Stu Cluster, the king of the great Northwest. He builds his mother a house or something, and then I want to see the Stu Cluster Courtney Brooke crossover. By the way, you're welcome to, well, not you're welcome, because she's a good gal, but I saw Courtney Brooke is up to 1,000 subscribers on her YouTube. Congrats, and you're welcome. She's a good egg. Why I didn't mind having her on to get her subscribers, so nothing wrong with that. But now I'm sure we'll get even less money because Courtney Brooke is hot, so they'll probably send her money. But somebody who still has respect for themselves in the show, and a wonderful Stancelite and Ski Mask Media patron for years, Stu Cluster. Dealership auto shops charge $100 an hour. Most repairs take 5-6 hours plus parts. $1,000 has become the standard. I have to take my work van in the shop 2 times a year. Bingo bongo. Yeah, if you missed the beginning, I know a few people numbers went up a bit since we started. It's unbelievable what's happening. It's so funny to talk about numbers. Hope you people know I'm being satirical when I do that. I think you do, but if not, come on, be better. Yeah, like I said, I had a $1,300 bill this morning of work that had to be done. It's not like it's frivolous work and it's tangible noises and clicking I was getting out of my car. But yeah, I think that's it. And frankly, Stu Cluster, I think the labor where I go is $125 an hour. But yes, exactly. I don't. It feels like anytime you need any work done on a car, it's $800 or $1,000. The days of getting something fixed for $300 are of yore. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm just surprised. Is it? But so, I guess my question is, and you people know I'm a Subaru loyalist. This is my second Subaru myself that I purchased. I grew up with Subarus. My mother has a Subaru. My dad's dead, but he had a Subaru. We had an old, I think an '89 Subaru wagon. Maybe I could try to find a picture of it. Who the hell's FaceTiming me? Doesn't make sense. So I guess my initial question was, is it it's not the brand then, right? It's just the cost of these fucking shops that it's just, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. The price of eggs. I got in another big fight at work the other day over how I pronounce eggs, salmon, and almond, but we can get to that later. A correction from Stu. I'm married. Ask Mason in Portland. Are you married to Mason in Portland? Why is this person calling me? God, you try to get away from these women and they just track you down. I guess it's the mustache effect. Well, my lady callers, I got one call after another. They're demanding me. Where am I? Pull your pants down. All this crazy stuff. All right. Well, I guess it's just the price of business these days then, I suppose. But, yeah, get that $1,300 super chat in, folks. Let's see. Like I said, I'll be more, the Lord Stancils, Chancellor Tsaramis, I'll be more forgiving of the poor people chat today since we're in the sports desert here with nothing really to talk about. And that's a problem. It's a microcosm, if I may dovetail into the Stancilverse, as we call it. I refuse to say the DV word. It's kind of a microcosm of what happens with these other shows. There's nothing to talk about, so don't do a show. I do a once-a-week show, and I'm telling you there's nothing to talk about. And then you have these other shows who do shows 4 or 5 days a week for hours. There's simply nothing to talk about. So what happens is it's all just gay nonsense. Works, talking about the same shit everyone has talked about already over and over again. And that's why it bores me, frankly. Anywho, let's see what these poors are about. This is a poor people show. I much prefer rich people if you can get your fucking wallets out. But let's see. The chat is co-hosting today since there's not much. AC/DC kicks us off for the poor people. Stu kicked us off for the people with money. I'm leaving my house later today with a beer. Attaboy AC/DC there in Chicago. My mommy, Kelly, apparently is going to, I think she's going to Mexico this weekend. Ain't shit going on this weekend. Go outside, queers, of course. Pro-Ho game. We'll touch on the Pro Bowl game. I got a couple things. It's not even a game, Stu. I'll talk about that. I mean, literally, it's not a game. It's a tug of wars and flag football. Send Garrett the link. Garrett was on a go. I sent Steve the link. I sent Gino the link. I sent a couple ladies the link. I sent the caller the link. Get fucking Juggy out. Juggy never. I texted him after last week's amazing, by the way. We can talk about that for a minute. Legendary. Another, there's shows that continue to do the status quo, as frankly most of these other shows do. And then there's Ski Mask Media, Sports Mask Collective, and Ski Mask Collective. And again last week, We just moved that goalpost a little further down the line for the sake of all podcasting humanity. An unbelievable, sprawling show. My ski mask passed out after the first hour. May or may not have allegedly been doing some kind of drug. You have to go watch the program. Allegedly, of course, it was all a work. Wink. That was just nothing. It was all off screens. There's no way to prove it. Teamster Tim came by. Quadfather came by. New Girl came by. We really hit it off. A lot has been happening behind the scenes with me and New Girl, let me tell you. She got the link today, let's put it that way. Who else came by last week? We had calls with Gino. We had calls with Larry Bia. We had calls with Juggy. Who else did we talk to live on the air last week? I couldn't even keep. I tried to write down all the guests from last Ski Mask, and I couldn't even do it. But yeah, nobody's doing it out here. Then I proceeded to. I went to Casey's after that, and then ate some Mexican food. Truly, truly unbelievable what is happening out there. So unbelievable. We did it again with last week's Ski Mask Collective, a 4-hour show out of nowhere. Kudos to everyone who came through as that went on. Playing only Lady KB. Only lesbians drive Subarus. Well, better call me a lesbo then. Wonderful cars, all-wheel drive included, best value for the money. You don't have to pay for four-wheel drive. Wonderful in all weather, fuel efficient. Let me tell you, those four-cylinder Boxer Subaru engines are bulletproof. That's the word everyone uses about the Subaru Boxer engines. This is a Subaru show now. I'm changing it. Subaru Mask Collective. Lady KB, if you follow her on Instagram, she's getting all dolled up to make all these simps go nuts next weekend in AC. I hope you, Lady KB, you better drive up to see me before you go back so I don't have to have my balls all blue till May. But KB looking hot. I mean, she was already hot, and now she's just going wild doing stuff. KB, if you want the link, let me know. We can talk sports. We can talk gym workouts. Big news. Back on the Peloton. We have a Peloton at my gym. I've had a lower back. Now we're really getting into it. My lower back, my Golgi apparatus, as a former National Academy of Sports Medicine personal trainer, I can tell you the Golgi apparatus, where a lot of the nerves come together up there on the hip. I could barely walk a few days ago, so I usually run. I usually will do the elliptical. I'll do the Jacob's ladder. I don't know if you know what that is. It's the best cardio and calorie burning for your buck for all my fellow athletes out there. Lady KB, you might be interested in this. You could stick your big hiney in the air. It's called Jacob's ladder. You're essentially walking up a ladder on a machine. Yeah. Best calorie burning you're going to get for the money. You burn about 200 calories every 10 minutes. But anyhow, Daddy still needed to sweat. I get rambunctious when I take too many days off from the gym. I didn't work out today. I'm probably not going to work out tomorrow. I do try to listen to my body in my old age, so I don't push it, especially this time of year, not only in the sports desert, but the winter of our discontent is that time of year. It's John Steinbeck, wonderful book. I have ADHD, if you can't tell. John Steinbeck, my favorite American author. Travels with Charlie, underrated. Wonderful book. I truly connect with that book. Go read it. It's about traveling America. Quick read, too. Travels with Charlie. Go light up a fire or put a fire on your TV and read the book. What was I talking about? Oh, So I jumped on the Peloton yesterday for the first time in forever. I used to own a Peloton when I owned a home with a woman until everything went to hell. Yes, if you're new here, I owned a home on 2 acres in the woods, end of a dead end, beautiful, backed up against state property, coyotes, foxes, hawks, ground, you name it, all the wildlife in New England, and then everything went to shit. And I moved back in with my mother and lived in her garage for a few years, and that's where all this nonsense began. But we're back. I'm actually now actively looking for a new place because Daddy's back. Daddy Fat Sacks, not very fat at all, actually, after this Subaru bill. So for the love of God, if you've ever thought of super chatting, today is the day. Got back on the Peloton yesterday, just a little 30-minute ride, 30-minute house ride with a British guy. And of course, even though I've been on it for years, set a new record. I just think I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm not even kidding. I mean, Stancil universe unite. So back on the Peloton game. I just like, it's all about variety, folks. This is a sports show, technically, since there's no real sports to talk about this week. We could talk about fitness. It's all about variety. Just switch it up. If you always run, throw in an elliptical for a half hour. If you always do the elliptical, throw in walking on the treadmill for an hour. If you always do the treadmill, throw in a Peloton or a bike for an hour. If you always do the same workouts, just do something different. The key to changing your body is confusion. And this is not even a joke. This is my professional former career advice. What was my former career? Personal trainer, National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer. The confusion is what your body will respond to best. Your body is unbelievably smart without you knowing. Your primal body, it's always going to find the path of least resistance to do any kind of workout. If you eat the same crap all the time, it's going to find the best way to sift through it. So if you do the same workout all the time, that's why you don't get sore, even if you put more weight and more weight. If it's just the same movement over and over again, your body just learns, okay, it almost learns the hack for making the movement. So confusion, that's the name of the game in the gym, folks. Confusion, muscle confusion, cardio confusion. That's how you see results. You can't just even if you do 2 hours a day of the same workout and you're like, how am I not changing this 2 hours? You have to change it up. It's all about confusion in your body. You're welcome. There's a free tip. Send a super chat. Like I said, the chat is co-hosting today since we're in the sports desert. Fuck Kevin Brennan. He thinks he's head of the FAA now. I missed that. I have not watched an MLC since Gino was on. Every time I try to tune in, again, I saw Kevin posted Shuli's phone number yesterday. He's still talking about Shuli. Didn't that start? Wasn't that from 3 years ago? Gay. It's just gay. Listen, initially it's fun. Move on. Like literally move on. Speaking of move on, and speaking of what Kevin Brennan's doing, ACDC, feel free to put in the chat what you're talking about. I'll get there eventually. OGs of Burning Bridges and MLC will remember Clayton Fletcher or a sports show. Any poker fans? Clayton Fletcher was at the Soccer Ball Comedy Club last night and caught up with him. Talked about how crazy Kevin was, what funny was. We talked about how fun Burning Bridges used to be. And I'm not even making this up. Shout out Clayton Fletcher. Good egg. It was a pleasure to finally meet him in the flesh. He actually knew who I was, which was unbelievable. That's how you know you're worshiping the correct God, when real people know who I actually am, rather than fat losers. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you want me to comment on that? Listen, here's the thing with that plane. Again, I have to say this. Sports. I have to say that every few minutes, at least once every 10 minutes, to make this still a sports show. And I do have some sports to get to. We'll get there eventually. I have a feeling we are going to do an hour again after all because it's unbelievable what happens out here. This is a Patagonia shirt, by the way. Not a big deal. No big deal. Patagonia Micro Fleece. Wonderful product. Listen, everybody calm the fuck down. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Calm down with the conspiracies. The plane was landing. The helicopter looked like it was doing its round, a military helicopter doing rounds around the Washington, D.C. airport. Seems pretty normal. How the fuck they intersected, I don't know. But it seems like the helicopter was just making its rounds. And unfortunate. I guess we could bring it back to sports related. Apparently, the figure skating team. It is a bit bizarre, and I don't know if this is just a simulation having a glitch or if it's just the way the universe works. Isn't it bizarre Tanya Harding joins Twitter and a figure skating team dies? And then Nancy Kerrigan, I saw, was on the news because she knew all these kids or something. Just fucking bizarre. I don't fact check nor care, really. Hold on. Oh, Stu Cluster, you're back. I'm sorry. I thought this was the old one. Let me ignore these poor people. Stu Cluster, there's a ton of videos of mechanics working on their own Subarus, and they go ape shit on how long it takes to take things apart. I'm married to a woman, asked Mason and Portland to cross over with car. Oh, I see. Stu said... You said I'm married. Married. Ask Mason in Portland. I thought you meant you were married to Mason Portland. I don't judge. My sister's gay. Whenever Ski Mask gets the merch site back up, I think I'm gonna make my sister's gay shirts. Ask Mason in Portland to cross over with Courtney Brooke. Wow. Well, I mean, you guys better. Mason Portland better get there first because I got my eyes. Listen, this is a cult now. This is a cult now. So I do have Stansel's Beautiful Girls. They're all going to fall under my umbrella. I was trying to help you guys get there before the cult officially begins. But, I have Kelly P. We have, by the way, I forgot last time, the beautiful, voluptuous, sexy Smokey Brooks. Don't forget about Smokey Brooks, the original Stansel's Beautiful Girl. Smokey Brooks, Kelly P., Courtney Brooke. Now New Girl is in the fold. Ashley Marie Thornton, once removed as she is married. What other of my beautiful girls am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting someone. Violet Brandani, of course. Nikki Huntsman. Beautiful, beautiful girls. They literally girls texting me as I said that. I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah. Interesting point, Stu. Yeah, I guess. So I guess that would make why it's always $1,000 every time I bring my Subaru in. Who's this? Oh, that's what I was looking at. Oh, Jason from CT. Look at this. Unbelievable. This is a chat show today. We're in the sports desert, of course. Hockey Mask Collective, best week. I believe that meant next week. I've been trying to organize this. I know I teased it last week on Ski Mask Collective when I was talking to Juggy, and he said he'd get back to me. He never got back to me. But yes, maybe not next week. Next week will be our annual Super Bowl spectacular, as we have been doing every year. We'll see just how spectacular it will be. Maybe I can ring. Maybe we'll do it from Mead's house or something. So we will definitely do that. We'll get a hockey mask. Like I said, hockey is a respectable sport. NBA is just absolutely terrible. And one more. No, you're lying, Lady KB. You're getting all done up. You want all the freaks in AC to grovel over you. Who are you going to pick? Who's your pick? Lady KB, I really would be upset if you hooked up with any of those freaks. You're too good for that. Just wait till May. You have your pick of your litter of me, Mead, or Victor. Isn't that great? I don't give a fuck about it. No, you're going. Lady KB, aren't you going to Atlantic City? My gym doesn't have one of those. You could climb me, honey. Juggy, there he is. There he is. We're just talking about him. Juggy, do you want the link? Are you around? I'll text you the link right now. I figured you were working. Maybe you are. I know I'd jump on these, but I just text you the link, Juggy, if you like. Everybody's been demanding Juggy. Stancil got fat 5 years ago doing a beautiful love for McDonald's. Can't blame him. That stuff is crack. Truly is. And again, Juggy is a big fitness guy. Juggy, as you know, from Fit Mass Collective, one of the great shows on this network that may or may not be coming back someday in some capacity. Juggy is essentially a doctor at this point. I won't tell too much of his business. Juggy will tell you. Tell him about muscle confusion, Jugs. Yes, exactly. And you know what? And I've talked about this before. I knowingly and willingly got fat. It's not like, it's not like I woke up one day and said, I'm fat. Literally, while I was doing it, I was saying, I'm just going to get fat. I'm depressed. I'm living at my mom's house. It's all over for me. It was the middle of COVID lockdowns. I was the only one working in the world, apparently. So there was nothing to do. So I was just getting as high as I possibly could and getting fast food every day. I didn't have rent. I didn't have any worldly responsibilities. And listen, that happens, folks. That happens. It's okay to get fat. But, we want to, believe it or not, this is a body positive podcast. You can always come back from it, folks. Just take some time. And the fun part about getting fat, I will say this, and fat people in the chat can verify. If you are fat and you start eating a bit better and working out, it falls right off at the beginning. So you get motivation. You see that it actually works. Now, after the first 10, 20 pounds, depending on how big and fat you actually are, it could get tougher, but you got to stay the course. So get as fat as you want, folks, but just reel it in sometimes. We don't want you to die. This cult has to grow. Frog the egg, of course. I hate Bill's Mafia. They stink like sulfur and vinegar. Morning, Jim Stansel. Good morning, Michael. Here we go. Juggy's a doctor. Juggy, do different stuff from time to time. Not just a fitness motto, but also piece of life advice. Really? True. And it's tough this time of year. I caught myself falling into a little bit of the winter blues, if you will. Just do something different. It's easy in the winter, especially here in the Northeast, to fall into the same schedule every day. Work, go home, smoke, have a drink, whatever you do, watch a movie. Work, go home, smoke, drink. And then on the weekend, maybe you go to a bar. Do a little something to do. Go to a park. You don't have to spend money. Go to a park. Go for a drive even. I know that's shit from the 1950s. By the way, do people go for Sunday drives anymore? I just reminded myself. I remember I would go to my aunt's house, and they would literally just, it would be me, my aunt, my uncle, and my cousins, and they would just go on a 2-hour drive around scenic Connecticut and go home. And I feel like that was a thing back in the day. I feel like that was the last vestige of a Sunday drive. Call in if you go on Sunday drive still. Do they still do Sunday drives in the country? This just made me laugh. Confusion, then rest. Worst advice. KB, I start lifting super heavy and start seeing. Exactly. You go super heavy. And then Lady KB and everyone else, do high reps, low weight. Do high weight. Have some fun. See how heavy you can go for a couple months and then switch it back up and go low weight. Go 15 to 20 reps on everything. I've been loving doing pyramids. Pick 3 workouts. This is going to get real gay real quick, but it's going to get very educational very quick as well. So tune in. Get your pen and pencil out, class, Stancelites. I've been enjoying doing pyramids. Pick 2 or 3 workouts. For example, I did one yesterday, even though I had a bad back. I don't give a fuck. Lat pull down into cable crossovers into reverse grip rows. And you do 5, 5, 5. Then you do 10, 10, 10. Then you do 15, 15, 15. Then you go back down to 10, 10, 10. Then 5, 5, 5. And you just make the weight as high as possible with being able to do those numbers. I've also done the 1 through 20 where you do push-ups, arm-ups, and crunches. One of my favorites. You literally go start at 1. You do 1 push-up, 1 crunch, and then arm lift is literally no weight, just doing this. But you go 1, then you do 2, and then you go through 3, all the way up to 20, and then all the way back down. No, you don't even need weights for that. As me and Juggy used to say, getcha. Listen, I could talk. Me and Juggy can talk fitness all day. Both amazing athletes. Oh, Clayton Fletcher looks like Moby's younger brother. He actually did. He's a nice, very nice guy, Clayton Fletcher. Good egg. ACDC. Brennan's stupid shock jock-like comments on Twitter about the plane crash. Then his show yesterday, Black Hawk Down. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he was just being what he used to hate, folks. I mean, really, as an OG, nobody has more MLC, Burning Bridges, etc. knowledge than me. Literally, this is what he used to hate. His whole show was about telling the truth and being real, and now it's all works. And he is I'm getting cursory attention just because it comes across my timeline. But how many times has this show sold out and there's still tickets available? I don't understand. It's all just so gay and boring. I just can't. God. Anyway. Playing with the boy. What kind of kayak do you have? It is a current design Solstice GT 17-foot fiberglass kayak. Look it up. Current design, the cream of the crop of sea kayaks, corn diff. Corn diff, of course, the only fruit, vegetable, or puppet I've ever been able to stomach. Cardiff stinks.
Ooh, I'm just going to talk like this, and I'm a potato, and I'm not going to really say anything too funny. I'm just going to be a potato and talk to Carl.
And then you got you got this thing.
I'm Juggy. I'm a puppet, and grown adults think this is funny. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this and that. But because I'm a puppet, people listen to me. Yeah.
Gay, hack, easy. I literally just did it. You see how easy it is to do. You want me? Is that what it takes? I've said it before. If our whole goal was to suck money out of you people, we could do it. You think I don't know how to do it if I wanted to? I keep it too real. Literally, it's Dave Chappelle's When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. I just can't sell out like all these other fucking shows. No offense, Corn Diff. Like I said, Corn Diff is, I said from day one of Corn Diff. I don't know why. And I still disavow all fruits, vegetables, and the like. But Corn Diff, if I had to choose, was always my favorite. I don't know why, but whatever. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Stancil, you should make your own whorehouse. I will. There will be a whorehouse at the compound. You can rent out my beautiful girls. New girl. The rates are going to be pretty high. I might lower it for Kelly P since she's so old. Although she does have a big hiney. New girl's beautiful. She has an accent. Oh, my God. An accent with tats and was wearing a Jets jersey at the end of last week's Ski Mask Collective. Get out. We have plans to get married in Vegas, just so everyone knows. Appetites and sunsets. Playing with the boys. Oh, by the way, Juggy, if you're still watching, and anyone else out there, I think we're just going to keep it. The plan is to keep it simple next Sunday for the big game, and obviously we'll talk about this on the Super Bowl Spectacular. We're just going to mosey on down to a little place many people consider the best bar in America, a little place called Casey's Bar and Tavern right over there on 85 Woodside Street. Stamford, Connecticut, 06902. That's where we'll be watching the big game. Come on down. I had ideas to do this and that, but at the end of the day, the simplest thing is the best. It's some form of Occam's razor. So consider making a ton of food. Then you got to clean it. Just going to mosey down to Casey's, drink for, 3 hours, eat for 3 hours, and get a tab for $15. That's the easiest. Everyone come on down. Playing with the boy. I'll get any Vinny Cash paid for this microphone, so I figure I deserve to. Just waiting on my computer, Vinny, any day now, so I can load these on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, which I haven't been able to do for months. This computer's from 2016 and literally barely works anymore. Obviously, I'm only half kidding. I don't know if Ski Mask is alive after he dies. Bring back Fit Mask. Everybody's I'm not even kidding. I get messages on the side, where's Juggy? And they loved his cameo just over the phone last week. I'm walking at the moment. Not sorry, folks. Pay my bill. There he is. There's Juggy. Stan Colt. Jason from CT, do you want to play lacrosse? Oh, this is big news, folks. This is big news in the 30 and over Fairfield County Lacrosse League. We're having trouble getting numbers. Everyone's gay. Everyone's, I don't know what the hell happened. Growing up, there was always these leagues, and it's not just about people having kids, because these 30 and over leagues have been around forever. There used to be 8 teams, then there was 6 teams. Now there's 4 teams, and now we're having trouble getting enough people to field a team. What is going on out there? Is it the screens have taken over? Is it everyone wants to go to a brewery on a Sunday? But Jason from CT, you have my number. If you're interested in dusting it off, we are looking for people. Sunday morning men's league lacrosse, of course. Playing with a boy. Ha-da-da-da. Ha-da. Juggy's a doctor. He says never go past 15 reps. Fuck pyramids. That's what the Mayans said when they blew up the planet. But then we found them. Do this, do that, hit me in the head with a baseball bat. That's right. Afternoons and sunsets. I miss Rip Fuel. I kind of remember that. I was never a big pre-workout as I drink my Celsius. You viewers of this show know I'm in the grips and have been for a while now of a savage Celsius addiction. I have one in my hand. I'm looking at 2 right now as hashtag real job. I'll be working the rest of the day after this. And I do still try not to eat until I get home at night. That is something that has worked for me. But even that, honestly, I think I need it. Juggy, if you're still in the chat, I know you can't call in, I guess, but you're a doctor. Does confusion also work with eating? Because I'm starting to think maybe I switch it up and stop eating at night and maybe just eat one meal during the day. Do I need to confuse my internal body as well, Juggy, Dr. Juggy? Let us know if you're still watching. But my thing with eating at night, as you folks know, when I get home from a long day in the real world after leaving my house and working a real blue-collar job, that's why I love. Feel free to send a super chat to another fellow blue-collar man, or join the Patreon. Unbelievable what's happening out here. I don't know if you folks know this. I do enjoy the feelings you get from a bit of a marijuana. So I like the carrot at the end of my day is generally a little marijuana cigarette, also known as a joint, perhaps on a big. Usually I save blunts for I'm off that day. I like to clip the blunt, smoke some here, smoke some later. So that's why I usually eat at night, because I know I'm going to stuff my face after I smoke. I'm old enough to know myself. So that's why I usually smoke and then stuff my face. But I'm thinking I may need... Well, listen. I got another couple weeks. This is at least for me, and I'm probably many of you, this is the fluffy time of year, the middle of winter. I allow myself to eat a little more and work out a little less than I normally do. But it's coming up, usually around February, mid-February. That's when we start dialing it back up so we're all ripped, shredded, and at least presentable come spring when I'm going to rip my shirt off and fight children. I don't know why I said that, but it made me laugh, and that's all that matters. Playing with the Royal Rumble tomorrow, folks. Big Rumble. Juggy, I'm basically having a show with Juggy, and he's not here, and I kind of love this. I might even make this show featuring Juggy, and then he'll never be on the screen. That'd actually be pretty funny. I think we've talked, Juggy, but I am back into WWE. I watch almost every Raw. I keep track of the other nights. I usually can't watch the Friday, the SmackDown, the main events I keep track of, but I watch all the pay-per-views. I am back in, not like a big fan. I just have been enjoying it, keeping in my sports rotation. It's a pretty, if you haven't been paying attention, folks, a WD product these days is not bad. I feel like they went through the dark ages for almost a decade there, where it was very kiddie, very, at least for me, very boring, very basic storylines. I've been enjoying the slight new direction in recent history of the WWE. So if you were a 90s, the golden era, which will always be, is never going to beat that, the Attitude Era. If you did like the Attitude Era, give a Raw a watch. You may be surprised. Some good wrestlers. Some new wrestlers. The chicks are all hot. I'm in love with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, have been for a while, and they're good wrestlers too to boot. I'm not going to get too into this because I'm going to be called gay and a homo, and everybody's going to hate me. But if we want to talk more wrestling, we can. Anyway, I got off a tangent. Yeah. I don't do pre-workout. However, I do Celsius now. I'll be honest. I bring one Celsius. I usually start with cardio, drink my Celsius, and it fuels me for my workout because I don't eat. But I played lacrosse in college with a kid, Greg Lakaitis. Shout out. Look him up. A big dumb idiot. And he used to drink 2 scoops of No Explode before we would take the field, and then he just wouldn't shut the fuck up, and not in a good way. Literally one time I had to take him out of the game because he just wouldn't shut the fuck up. And he would do it before practices. It was literally exactly what you think it would be. I remember I did No Explode once when he had it just to try it, and my skin felt like it was burning off. Come on, send a super chat. I spent $1,300 on my car. I'll beg today. I'm not above it. This is a chat show. Detox to retalk. That's the name of the game, folks. I haven't even got to my. You almost hardly killed this hour. I just realized that. I haven't even gotten to my notes. Should I get to my notes? Hey, shout out to chat for having fun with me today. Feel free to send a super chat. At 13, I had to just 13. Yeah, I had to pay $1,300. 50 cash, 300 on my Spirit Airlines credit card, and then the rest on the old debit. Here's a peek behind Stancil Finance Mirror. What word are we banning? What are you talking about, Honky Tonk Tennessee? I like this Stancil show. He's just riffing on the chat. That's what Earl Skakel's show is. Hello! It's my Earl Skakel impression. Junior Coltrane and Leo Gunn were at the legendary Ski Mask show last week. I know, me and Leo Gunn are still planning the holiday party. Chat. Good one, Jugs. That may actually be the name of this show. Where is it? I may name this episode Chat with Remote Juggy. I may actually once again rewrite podcast history and be the first person to have a co-host who's only in the chat. That would actually be kind of interesting, would it not? Has anyone ever done that? Where my co-host is just in the chat, not speaking, literally just writing? Yeah, seriously, I think it's done. I think I made my decision. I'm going to put this Sports Mask 105 with Juggy and call it Chat. All right, let's see. All right, we may actually get to my notes. Got to all the super chats. We'll continue to check them, but we'll continue to check the poor chat. I'm a man of my word. Join the channel. Quick ad reads here. If this was Gas Digital, I just burned 10 minutes of the show doing ad reads. All I'm going to say is, get out of here, Stu. Sorry. I already read that. When you buy a Subaru, you have to prove that you're gay. Yes! Actually, you know what's funny? They sent me a car to go pick up my car, and for some reason it's still under because mother still has a Subaru. We're under the same Subaru account. Whatever, who cares? But the point is, the Uber picked me up, and I opened the door. He said, "Marianne." So I kind of answered the question. He saw he was driving me to Subaru, and he just figures I was some kind of trans freak. As is the word. No more. Only two. We're back to two genders now, folks. It's unbelievable what's happening out here. Where's Druggernaut? Druggernaut hit me up yesterday. He's usually in the chat for these shows. I think he's in Britain or some bullshit. Druggernaut sending me a shirt that says adios. Like, it looks like the Adidas logo, but it says adios with a sombrero over it. I'm going to start wearing that around New York City, see what happens. I promised I would. Stance, I want to see your goblin-ass skin. I don't know if you're new here or if you're just asking, but I am, and I'm not even being hyperbolic. I learned to ski as a boy. I am a black diamond skier, double black diamond skier. I've skied out west. I can do it all. I used to do jumps and stuff. Now I just love I love a good line. Here, the thing was, and I actually was tossing around going skiing this Sunday, but I'm actually looking at some new places to live that unfortunately cost a ridiculous amount of what they're worth, but that's just the world we live in now. But I was actually considering dusting it off this very Sunday and going for a local ski trip. The problem always with skiing is, and by the way, I am saying skiing, snowboarding is for posers. It's for, it's for the goth kids. It's for the look at me people, all the dumb broads like snowboarding, all the mouth breathing guy like snowboarding. Skiing is for the classy male, the classy individual. That's where the class is. That's where the skill is. The old rule of thumb, snowboarding, harder to learn, easier to master. Skiing, easier to learn, harder to master. And, of course, that's what we like around here. I'm a parallel skier. They stay in line. They move. My body stays level with the hill. The skis do the turning. Shoulders square. Skis turn. Side, side, side. Bend the knees when you're going in the moguls. Straighten them out at the apex. Bend the knees. Straighten them out. Listen, you want me to teach you how to fucking ski? I'll teach you how to fucking ski. Yeah, I did a little skiing on Ski Mask Collector last week. Bah! So, yes, I want to dust them up. Because I was such a fat turd for so many years, a couple of years there, I would go skiing, and it would be painful. I think now that I'm down almost 50 pounds, I may be in the best skiing shape of my life, all things considered. So I do want to get out there before the season is over. What I was going to say is the problem with skiing, unfortunately, is just everything up to once you're on the mountain, it's a ton of fun. Keep the flask in your pocket, smoke a joint on the lift, bring the vape for the side of the trail. Put some beers in the bag. You pull off into the opera. You pull off into the off-piste in the woods. You slam 2 or 3 beers. You smoke a J. You go down the hill. But the problem is loading up the car, getting ready. It's all clunky. You got all the shit on. You got your boots on. You got to carry the skis to the fucking thing. You got to carry them back. That is the, if it wasn't for all that, if I could teleport, I would ski a lot. Or if I live very close to a mountain, I'd keep a locker. I do love snow. No snow. It's actually a lot of snow up north. I guess out west there's not. Okay, yeah, Vinny Cash, come to Park City, jerk. Still waiting on an invite. He invites his drunk 27-year-old to his house to pass out all over the fucking tarnation. And the adult, the breadwinner, the moneymaker. Come on, will you fucking, come on, Vinny, come on, yes. Come on. Send the invite, Vinny. I'm still waiting on the invite. I've never been cordially invited. I want a thick piece of paper. I want a thick piece of paper that says you are cordially invited to the Vinny Cash estate featuring all expenses paid, 3 days of skiing at Park City. That's what I want. It's my money and I want it now. I want to know why, as Hank May of Goodyear Tires used to say. Probably Juggy's the only person that gets that. Yeah, what are you talking about? Tons of snow. I don't know. There's a lot of snow up north here. If you get into northern Vermont and Maine and such. Get drunk and sit in a foldable lawn chair. Yes. Just a great thing to say. All right. We're at 57 minutes. We're back to, I'm going to try to get to my notes. We'll get back to the poor people chat. I have a couple of tabs to close, as they say. What is she? Another women. Somebody just sent this along to me. Have you seen this Zizian cult, folks? It's this cult of trans people that are killing people. By the way, I mean, I am starting a cult, so maybe I should take notes. But listen to this headline. Campaign of Terror. The case of the radical Zizian vegan trans cult and the shooting death of Border Patrol agent. That's funny. Actually, Chris DiStefano posted this, and he said, I've never seen a more perfect headline for a Tim Dillon show. You know what's funny is I literally just started the new Tim Dillon. I guess it's the bonus app because it's the Tim Dillon, by the way. Yeah, it's the bonus. Oh, with Ray Kump. Awesome. I know this is not this show, but Tim Dillon continues to be on his own level of podcasting. If you don't listen to Tim Dillon, you're missing out. The funniest podcast. It's Tim Dillon, and then it's everyone else. Anyway, my point, what I was going to say is feel free to keep putting in the poor chat. I am going to keep the super chats only up for the time being as I try to rip through a couple of these. What did I have? I didn't have much. This will be quick. What happened to Jimmy Butler? I used to love Jimmy Butler. As you folks know, I grew up a Bulls fan, and I'm loyal, so I've stayed a Bulls fan. And I like Jimmy Butler on his Bulls. Now he's going away. Listen, the NBA, the problem with the NBA is Adam Silver, the commissioner, and the players. I think that is the impetus of all these issues they're having is because Adam Silver doesn't keep the players accountable whatsoever. He bends the knee to the players on every issue. He doesn't bend it to the fans. He doesn't bend it to what's the best for the sport of basketball. It's all bent to keeping these babies happy. And make no mistake, the NBA players are the biggest babies in all of pro sports. Not even close. I don't think anybody could even argue that. So Jimmy Butler, if you didn't see it, he got suspended last week for missing a flight. Missing a team flight. Before that, he sat out a game because of something. And this week he got suspended for a third time. I guess he walked out of practice. but it's just a joke. And if you see what's going on, if you're a sportsman like myself, it clearly comes back to this alien-looking, frankly, Jew freak. And look at Adam Silver and tell me, I mean, you want me to pull a picture of Adam Silver and tell me he's not some kind of Jewish alien? I mean, this guy looks like he was melted down and then put over. I don't like. It looks like a quintessential villain. Look at this guy. I've seen index fingers with more personality than this guy. Literally a Jew alien. This is the show. I don't have a producer. My computer doesn't work, essentially. If any catch would ever send me a new computer, fucking cheap piece of shit. Kidding! I could actually pull it up, but it would take upwards of 20 minutes just to open a new window, so I can't do it. But, yeah, Adam Silver has ruined this league by bending the knee to all the players. And then he had the balls he threw out talking about playing less games. You think if you play less games, these guys are going to play more? These guys are all lazy. Nobody wants to say it because you know why. These guys are getting huge checks and don't want to work. You know, I mean, let's call it, well, I almost said call a spade, but you got to be careful. But, yeah. I'm just saying. Do you think if they played 70 games, these guys wouldn't sit out? Workload, all this workload bullshit. You have guys in the NHL playing the same amount of games, blasting each other into boards, punching each other in the face, running into each other at 30 miles an hour, and these guys play every night, and it's frowned upon not to play. And you have these guys that jog for 20 minutes a night and bounce a little ball, and they have the workload issues. Get fucking lost with this. It's such baby. They didn't have workload issues in all of basketball history up until 10 years ago or 5 years ago. That's weird. It's almost like all the players have become babies. It's almost like everybody's a fucking baby now. Give me a break. And listen, they can be babies. That's why it's not even all on the players. Who's paying these babies the money? Stop paying them full contracts. Joel Embiid, did you see this? Has now played 50% of the possible games he could have played since he's been in the NBA. I don't know the exact number, but for example, if he's been in the NBA for 1,000 games, he's played 500. I mean, and he's just an example. These guys taking a day off. What are you talking about? Do you guys remember when Michael Jordan would talk about workload and take games off? No, it didn't happen. It never happened. Nobody used it. It never existed. They're babies, but they're babies because the league lets them. You have a commissioner who's going to go, oh, it's okay. It's okay, LeBron. You take tonight off even though 30,000 people paid to see you. Oh, no. It's okay. It's okay, Joel Embiid. Just sit out again. It's a fucking joke, and shame on the players, but the bigger shame on the alien Jew who runs the NBA, Adam Silver, for putting up with this. Viewership at an all-time low, at least in recent years for the NBA, and they're trying to do everything else, trying to do all these other freak things, these paint an NBA Cup where they paint the court for 2 weeks for some meaningless award early. Nonsense. Make the fucking product better. Stop calling fouls in the paint. Maybe move the three-point line back so I could stop watching these fucking Europeans, these 7-foot Europeans shooting three-pointers. Ugh, God. Get in the paint. Get in the fucking paint. I got a fucking, Slender Man, Wembayama, shooting threes. The guy's 9 feet tall. Go under the basket. What are you doing? Wembayama. And I called it. I've already called it a while. By the way, Stanislas Stradamus, Wembayama won't be in the league in 5 years. My thigh weighs more than Wembayama. There's no way this guy is in the league in 5 years. So anyway, that's the sad state of the NBA. And now they got the NBA All-Star coming up. They're going to do a 3-person, 8-team. I mean, it's just a joke. Just don't do it. Do, like I said last week, do the 3-point contest, do the dunk contest, and call it a day. Enough of this nonsense. What are we going to have? DJ Khaled fucking doing somersaults, and you're going to have a Glorilla showing her pussy to kids or something, or shooting a basketball out of her asshole. Just fucking, is it a sport or is it a fucking spectacle? This is a spectacle. This is Sports Mass Collective. This is sports entertainment. The best sports show on the planet, many are saying, ever since Mike and the Mad Dog wrapped it up, if you will. Send a super chat. I don't think I ever even got to that ad read I talked about 20 minutes ago. Patreon.com, Ski Mass Media. If you don't want to send, look at it as a once a month $3 super chat. That's the nice, easy way to support this show. We're working men. At least I work. I don't know what the fuck Ski Mask does. I've been carrying the weight of this whole network for it seems like 6 months now. Well, this guy Gallivans, he passes out on our fucking show. And they, next month I got it all together. Next month I get it all together. Okay, it's next month, Ski Mask. I expect that fucking check. I expect that fucking YouTube money tomorrow, you fucking freeloader. Yeah, I'm the talent. Anywho, Vinny Cash, the trolling worked, the negative comments worked. Vinny Cash, a $50 super sticker, didn't even say a word. I'll put that towards my Epic Pass for whenever I'm fucking invited out to fucking Park City. I would love to ski Park City. I've skied Vail. I've skied Beaver Creek out there in Colorado Way. Thank you, Vinny Cash. Very nice of you. That'll help pay off the $1,300 Subaru bill I got this morning. Wonderful. And that sticks, even though, here's the problem, Vinny Cash, is because I'm such a kind man and a kind and gentle ruler and lord, I still split everything 50-50 with Ski Mask. Even though I do double the shows of him, the shows he's on I carry these days because he can't control himself. I pay the $15 for StreamYard, and I still got to split that. So, great segue. Cut out Ski Mask. If you want to screw Ski Mask over, send money to my accountant at Venmo, at DaveD23. Screw over YouTube, screw over Ski Mask, and send that money right to the tip of the spear, which is Jim Stansel. God bless you. Right in Kevin Brennan's face, too, by the way. Like I said, if you missed at the top, I was hanging out with the great Clayton Fletcher last night. Good egg. He'll be in, I was asking him what his next tournament is. The next tournament is the World Series of Poker. Our dear friend Clayton Fletcher will be in coming up. So pay attention to that. You could say, hey, I know a guy who, my cult leader knows that guy. You could say that now. Oh, boy. NFL All-Pro Weekend. I mean, at least the NFL product is fine. The All-Pro Weekend for the NFL has also become a total joke. They have a flag football game. They're doing a tug of war. I mean, come on. Come on. Hey. Come on. You're the NFL. You're doing flag football. You're doing a tug of war. Please. Everybody. None of that, you could just not. Here's the thing. This goes for everything, across sport, across life, across the modern age. Sometimes less is more. We forget in today's day and age where it's more, screen, swipe, scroll. The money is in less. Not real money. Please send more super chats and please send more money because now I'm poor because of my Subaru bill. But the life is in less. Less is more. If you can learn to have willpower, if you can learn to control yourself, and this is part of the cult doctrine, so pay attention. If you have the fortitude, the internal strength to turn off a TV, to not watch a tug of war, to stop scrolling and just be present in the moment, maybe go out in nature, go for a walk like Juggy. And that's where living is these days. It's all turned on its head. You know, people my age grew up in the 80s and 90s. You know, that Atari, that Dreamcast, that Monday Night Raw, that was a big deal. Now we do that 24/7. So now the big deal is not doing anything. It's getting away from all that bullshit. And obviously here in the cult, we're going to do that. But I think there's going to be a movement in the world itself as we go to get away from all that bullshit. Because it's just so much blatant nonsense just being shoved down our throat, from advertisements to news and everything in between. Stancil Stradamus, there's a real fact, a real quote for it. Thank you, Vinny Cash. Do appreciate that, even though fucking Ski Mask is going to take fucking half of it. But thank you. I'll see that in March. I'll see that March 21st. I also gave the Joe. Oh. Do you want to quit? I got two things, then we'll go back. I'll check the chat. We'll go to my co-host known as the chat again. Angel Reese is, I mean, talk about I think the best thing to say is putting the carriage in front of the horse. She's played one WNBA season. She had an okay year. And she's acting like she's like the Michael Jordan of WNBA. She's got a podcast. She's got a Reese's Puff cereal. She's got a meal at McDonald's. Meanwhile, she literally looks like, have a child draw an alien? That's what Angel Reese looks like. I don't get it at all. Her eyes are like, I've seen fish with eyes closer together than Angel Reese. I mean, I don't get the appeal at all. I fucking hate the one-leg compression thing. Makes zero sense. Juggy, if you're still in the chat, you're a doctor. Tell me how a one-leg compression makes any sense and that it's not just a style thing. Because let me answer it for you. It's just a style look at me thing. All these again, glorified children. The single leg compression, the one arm compression, just fucking, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing how people in the NBA, again, up until about 10 or 15, 20 years ago, used to be able to play without compression. They used to be able to play without all this nonsense. Used to be able to not have rest days. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's almost like they were just a higher caliber of people and player than they are now. Angel Reese is just doing everything except playing basketball. And what I can't wait for, Stancil Stradamus, here we go. What I can't wait for her is to be a middle-of-the-league player in 2 or 3 years, if not this year. And all this is for nothing. But, I mean, all of this off of one season in the NBA, and it was a mediocre season. I mean, I know she played well, but she didn't play great either. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. And now she's everywhere. Nasty Meal. What's your take on Shuli's producer going to jail for only 5 years? 6,000 images of CP is 5 years. Shouldn't Shuli do more for her? Nasty Meal, I appreciate this super chat. I truly do, because you've shoved it right in the face of all these other fine people who watch the show but never super chat. However, I don't give a fuck about Shuli or his show. I don't know why anyone gives a fuck about Shuli or his show. I mean, let's be honest, and I have no problem with Shuli himself. I truly don't. Carl did the Stuttering John thing first, and that, put it this way, Carl's show alone was beating a dead horse, that he did a show on Stuttering John. Then Shuli started doing it 4 days a week. And now Kevin Brennan's talking about Shuli's show. They're talking about Carl's show. It's all, you see what I'm saying? It's just, it stinks. At least for me, it's not interesting in the least. In the least. What do I think of going to jail for 5 years? Yeah, I don't care. Again, as I said, which nobody wants to do. Same with Stuttering John. If anybody doesn't like this guy so much, stop talking about him and he goes away. Instead, as I said, nobody wants to hear. Stuttering John won. And I hate stutter. Not that I hate, I literally don't give a fuck. The opposite of love is indifference, folks. I never watched Howard Stern. I was on MLC with Stuttering John that time. He called me Fonzie. I don't give a fuck. He's a disgusting, bloated, washed-up guy. But he has all these shows talking about him, so he won. As I say, and as is true, there's no such thing as bad publicity in entertainment. Whether it's good or bad, you keep talking about somebody, it's good. You know, if you're a teacher or a politician or a public or some kind of government official, then yeah, there is bad press. If you're in entertainment, there's literally no such thing as bad publicity. So, whatever, child porn is bad, but I don't give a fuck. This is all like low-level gay drama bullshit, which we've gotten away from and which what I've been saying is dragged down. I don't give a fuck about all your little shows because I never watched them. My problem is that it's now dragged MLC into the muck for the last 2 or 3 years, and MLC was, unlike these other shows, MLC was an actually once great show with a still great and funny host, Kevin Brennan, but he just can't get away from, I guess, no offense, but people like Nasty Meat here who continue to give money to these shows, and he just can't pull himself away from the teat of the money stream. And that is the truth. Nobody wants to say the truth because everyone wants to suck these guys' dicks for the super chats. That's why here at Ski Mask Media, we pay the iron price for telling the truth. Because it's just, again, my concern, I don't give a fuck about any of these shows. My problem is that all these other shows and all this gay, fake, boring old man drama has now turned MLC into boring, gay, fake. It's all works. Oh, it's sold out. It's not sold out. Oh, Shuli said this. Oh, and Onion said this about Chad. Oh, Chad called somebody. This guy did child porn. That's an outlier. Other than that, I've yet to see nobody gets sued. Shut the fuck up, you fucking women. Nobody gets sued. Nobody goes to jail. Nobody gets whatever. Shut the fuck up. You're all fucking women. I've seen less drama in a sophomore girl's fucking health class than these fucking homos talk about every day for hours. Shut the fuck up. Thank you for the super chat, Nasty Meat. You got a rant out of me, so you should be happy. One more sports point I wanted to make because if you follow me on Twitter, you see me tweet about it all week, ever since last game. But, and now all of a sudden, you see ESPN and you see Barstool. All of a sudden, same things you heard here first from Jim Stanzo. What did I tell you, folks? The Chiefs are the best team in the league. Enough with the refs. Yes, the refs are going to be more lenient on one of the best quarterbacks, if not, and I'll say it, if not the best quarterback to ever play in the NFL. Pat Mahomes is a Hall of Fame quarterback. So, yes, maybe the refs are going to protect him a little more than fucking name him, any other quarterback. Maybe, but maybe it's because they have a Hall of Fame coach they win. Maybe it's because they have a Hall of Fame quarterback the Chiefs win. Maybe it's because they have a Hall of Fame tight end the Chiefs win. Maybe it's because they have a Hall of Fame DN the Chiefs win. Maybe it's because they have a probably Hall of Fame kicker the Chiefs win. Maybe it's because they have Pro Bowlers like DeAndre Hopkins and the other fellow, the other black gentleman. At wide receiver they win. Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah, maybe it's because they're the best team in the league, and that's why Jim stands at the top of the power rankings. That's because the Chiefs win. Maybe it's because the Chiefs are going to have one of the easiest Super Bowl wins in history next week. I told you. The NFC compared to the AFC, the Eagles compared to the Chiefs, they don't match up. I'm not saying it's going to be a bloodbath, but this may be the quietest a team has ever won a Super Bowl in history. Because nobody gives because we forget that we're watching greatness, and I don't blame people. I think we forget how good in the vista of history, the expanse of NFL time, how good the team we're watching truly is. Could be the first team to ever three-peat, but because we're so used to them, it's just normal to us. So anyway, my point was, you saw all week everybody crying about the refs, these upstate New York Bills people who push girls with cancer downstairs and throw themselves through tables and cover themselves with condiments because there's just no culture in upstate New York and there's no other sports teams worth talking about. So all they have is this mongoloidal Buffalo Bills team and their little tailgates. The Bills Mafia are the worst. Listen, it all come back to this year. The Bills Mafia are the lowest class fan base in the NFL, and I'm going to stick with that for a while. I always said it was the Phillies, but in retrospect, I've learned things have changed. The Bills Mafia and the Bills fans are just the lowest class fan base, certainly in NFL, possibly in all of sports, just because it's truly what I just said. There's just nothing else to them. Phillies at least have multiple sports teams. They have stuff to hang their hat on. They have history. The Bills still never won a Super Bowl. I mean, the Bills are some of the biggest losers in sports. I mean, I grew up watching them just lose to the Cowboys every year. How embarrassing fucking losers. So, yeah, keep complaining about the refs. Okay, he didn't get the first down. Okay, great. They didn't mark it right. Okay, it's not a conspiracy. The Chiefs are the best team in the league. And listen, obviously, we'll cover this game more in depth next week. The Chiefs and Eagles. Listen, if Saquon Barkley has another one of these games where he leaves the planet, certainly, of course, the Eagles can win. The Eagles are a good team. But all things being equal, I don't know any smart money, anyone with unbiased sports knowledge should not be betting against the Chiefs next weekend. You got to be insane. You got to not be watching what's happening. You have to be influenced by these dumbass sites and people like Barstool and ESPN who just want to tell you, the Chiefs get called. The Eagles are great. Please. The NFC is an inferior product, have been all year. Case in point, their 14-1 teams both lost their first playoff games. As I told you would happen, Stantos Stradamus. Oh, my God, an hour and 20 minutes on a show that I didn't know I would make it 15. That's how you know I'm good at what I do. Unlike most of these other shows who lean on the crutches of stream sniping and clip watching and 5 guests and talking about old man fucking drama for hours on end. Fucking losers. I'm the guy who stuffs you in the garbage can. I'm the guy who tells you your mom's gay. I'm the guy who slaps the books out of your hands. I'm the guy who grabs you by your ankles and gets the change out of your pants, you fucking losers. Go talk about your old man drama some more. You 60-year-old men talking about each other. Fucking faggots. There you go. Shout out Melanie Mack. Ha ha. All right. Chat, you've been good to me. I'll give you one last look, you poor people. Vinny Cash, the great Vinny Cash. Ski Mask has been hitting the sauce harder than E-Rock's McNuggets. Rock 'em. Szechuan sauced up Ski Mask. Good one, Jugs. Ski loves vodka and cock. Clip that. Clip that, chat. Talk about the TGL. Last week you told me never talk about the TGL, Tomorrow's Golf League. I didn't watch it this last couple of weeks. If you don't know if you've missed a few episodes, Tomorrow's Golf League is the virtual golf league that's on Tuesday nights on ESPN, Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy, and I wanted it to be good. You know, we're in the sports desert, as the show name suggests. There's not many sports on now till baseball besides March Madness. So I really wanted this virtual golf league to be good, but it is a terrible product. I'll try it again this week, maybe, see if they change anything. Vinny AC/DC, Frog of the Egg. Nobody cares. Dabble of her shit is dumb and boring. Yeah, I could have just said that, I guess. Six-year-old man drama, exactly. Listen, I love Levy. He's still my father. I had no personal problem with Shuli. I'm saying the show and this gay drama itself is gay as fuck. Why can I do a show and every man, a blue-collar man, the leader of men, a normal person, real job, whatever you want to call me, why can I do an hour and 25 minutes and not talk about only any old man drama and talk about actual stuff that's happening, stuff in my life and other stuff? But all these other people who do this for a career have nothing else to talk about than a washed-up loser? I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. Talk about, I want to see talk about, literally, that's what's funny about good podcasts, is they just talk about regular stuff. If the person is funny or entertaining, no matter what they talk about is funny. I don't want to hear the same shit every day. I got to agree, Stan's right about everything. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. All right. We did it, folks. We did it. Anybody want to shove it at the buzzer? More than ever, a big old shout out to the chat. Thank you, guys. You did it. We did it. You were my co-host today. Juggy was my remote co-host. The first co-host to ever not be on a show and do it all through chatting. We made history here today, folks. Enjoy whatever sports you can find. I'm trying to think of what. I mean, I guess maybe if you haven't yet, dabble into the NHL a bit this weekend. Start getting a feel for that. We'll definitely do some kind of NHL stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Chris Mack at the buzzer here. You know I love talking shit about Luis J. Gomez because it's fun. Stancil, did you hear about the clusterfuck with the Skankfest VIP tickets on Wednesday? Ooh, tell me more. Lewis sent everyone to the Yo Cradium site saying discounted tickets would be on sale at 1, but the site never updated. Oh, yeah, Lewis, I'm done dealing with trolls, man. I'm done dealing with trolls. I got to move on. I'm getting bigger and better. I'm sober. I'm not doing this. A guy can't even sell tickets. That's why I said these comedy guys who try to do too much, they get really gay really quick. Lewis did it. I mean, Bobby Kelly kind of did it with like doing all these shows. I mean, tons of other people who just do like these shows now. But Lewis is, and I still listen to the gas shows, at least Skanks and Lewis and Zach. But he is dangerously close to being out of touch. Like, again, go with what got you here. That's always the name of the game in sports and in podcasting. Go with what got you here. What got you here is talking shit, fucking with fans and that. And now he thinks he's too good for it. Get fucked. You'll see how too good you are for it. Yeah, when people stop watching your show. But that's funny. No, I did not see that, Chris Mack. Maybe we'll bring that up on the flagship show, which if Ski Mask isn't dead, possibly tomorrow. I haven't heard from him. We only talk on the show. I'll be gambling on High Lie. Ooh, that's a good thing for gambling. All right, I got shit to do. I got to drink more Celsius. God bless you, everyone. Thank you all for making this show great and showing what a true podcast and show could be right in the faces of all these other hack shows who now just take the easy way out, and they all just talk about the same thing now because, listen, like I said, I understand. That's what get you viewers, and frankly, that's what gets you super chats. This guy, Nasty Meal, or whatever, doesn't even, I know he's not, he may not even watch this show, but he saw me, knows I have some history with these shows, and asked. Like, that's my point. If I sold out and I just wanted to talk Stuttering John and all this, and Shuli and Emma and all the gay drama, I could do it better than all these people, truly. And I'm not even saying that I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic. I think you people know that if I wanted to, I could do it better than all these shows and puppets and vegetables. But it's just not, it's just gay to me. It's just gay. And I'm not going to sell out just to make super chat money. And listen, I had a $1,300 Subaru bill this morning. I need money more than anyone. But I work for a real job. And that's just gay to me. So no, I'm not going to talk about, I'll touch on it, but to do whole shows and networks on this is just, it's on a lower level of entertainment, if you ask me. There's all these shows about, if you want to call it the Dabbleverse. Here, you want me to say Dabbleverse? I'll say Dabbleverse. The Dabbleverse is on a total, lower scum level than, actual shows. You know what I mean? Because it's all the same content. It's the same topic with just all these idiots' different takes, and who gives a fuck. So, yeah, I respect any show, perhaps a show like this where it's just one man talking about whatever interests him. I respect that light years above any of this, low level, what it's become, just slop and unfortunately MLC was sucked into it. It's very sad. I didn't care these other shows doing it, but seeing MLC get sucked in this low level, and now they're doing all these gay works with Atlantic City. It's sold out. It's not sold out. Nobody's calling the cops on anyone. Shut the fuck up. No one's suing anyone. You're all pussies. I'll come to your fucking. Here, you want to see a pussy? Here's what I'm putting. Yeah, come and get me. Let's see it, you cocksuckers. Let's see what these other fucking tomatoes and vegetables look like. Yeah, sue me. Oh, I'm going to sue them. I'm going to do this. Yeah! Count all the troops. Bring home the votes. God bless America.